Good morning, everyone. Let's talk about weight loss and getting that journey started on the way into work this morning. So there's many aspects to losing weight, and it's a lot simpler than people make it. It's minor changes, but discipline and consistency, I would say, would be the key. Being physically fit and being at your best. Really, the goal is 80% nutrition and 20% exercise, okay, or effort. And that really is true. So it starts with the eating. So simply, to make it as simple as possible, unless you're totally eating a horrible diet where there's no nutrients, everything is completely manufactured, and it's the standard American diet, the SAD diet, and what you're eating really has no nutritional content. Most likely, you can continue to eat what you're eating, just in small portions. So, for instance, I'm in the Washington, D.C. area. With that, let's say you did not pack your lunch. There is many fast food options which can be nutritious and can provide a well-balanced diet. Chipotle, for one. There's a place called Soul Spice, which is like the Korean version of Chipotle. There's a Sweet Green, which is a salad place. Let's just go with those three things. So for Soul Spice or Chipotle, and if you're not familiar with Chipotle across the nation, it's basically a Mexican cuisine, and where you can choose whether it's a burrito, a bowl, or a salad. So if you're used to getting a burrito every single day, this is how simple you can actually change your diet. And this actually is a real life example for myself. So at a time when I wanted to shave off about 15-20 pounds about a year ago, and just get back to being who I am, and shredded and lean like I've been for most of my life, I used to get the burrito. Now, if you get a burrito and you go to one of these places, and basically they are giving you 3 or 4 huge scoops of rice when you first begin that line, whether you say, go ahead and give me a burrito, or give me a rice bowl, or give me a salad bowl. They are always going to ask if you want rice. If you get the burrito or the rice bowl, it is a ton of rice. Now, I'm not saying carbs are all the enemy. If you're pretty lean, like I am right now, actually carbs are a good thing, because I have my weight where I want it to be. So then it just becomes how much sugar or glycogen or carbs I can take and my muscles can absorb. But if you're trying to lose weight, I don't want to say carbs are the enemy, but carbs are something you can definitely cut back on, and it'll assist you in losing weight. So the additional carbs do not get stored as fat if you take in too many carbohydrates. So anyway, when you're eating that, if you were to get that burrito, and you do not tell that person, hey, can I get 1 scoop instead of 3 or 4 scoops? It's a lot of extra calories right there. So that's exactly what I'm saying. So if you're gonna have that burrito, you better cut back on the portion. And this is what I mean. You can have the same food, just cut back on the portion size. And like I said, I'm living proof of that. We can very simply make a mistake, even when we do meal prep, not paying attention when we're making something, and realize that you're giving yourself 2 or 3 servings of rice in your little individual meal. And you really have to take a look at that. And about 2 or 3 years ago, that's exactly what I was doing. Even when I was meal prepping, I had 3 to 4 times the amount of carbohydrates I really needed with my meals, when I was trying to actually lose weight and get leaner. And at the same time, not too much worried about the protein, but a calorie is a calorie, a macro is a macro. So I would actually be taking in too much protein for that meal. Again, this is if you want to lose weight. At where I'm at lean right now, I have no concerns with taking in too much protein. So let's go back to trying to make it more manageable what you're taking at Chipotle or any fast food restaurant or just in general. So back to the 3 scoops again. Excuse me, sir, can I only have 1 scoop of rice? And then the beans will probably be fine, or you can ask them to cut back on your beans. Next is your protein. You're going to leave your protein alone. Next, you're still going to have different things, whether it be salsa, whether it be corn, whether it be cheese, whether it be sour cream, whether it be guacamole, and other additional toppings. So if you usually say sour cream, that is a whole huge spoon of sour cream. Again, there's nothing wrong with sour cream. That's really a fermented dairy. It's not bad at all. It's got good probiotics in it, or good flora. That'll help your flora. But tell them you want a quarter of the amount of sour cream you usually get. Decide whether you're going to get that cheese, or are you going to say no cheese and just go for the healthy guacamole with the healthy fats. So right there, let's say for a burrito, you could really accidentally stack that burrito up and it could be 1,500 calories or more. And because you're trying to lose weight, 1,500 calories in one meal, that's a pretty big meal, okay? So just actually cutting back on your rice with the portion control, just cutting back on the amount of sour cream, maybe going no cheese, or doing, again, cutting back the cheese maybe just to a third, then you might be able to take that 1,500 calorie burrito and bring it down to 1,000 calories. So you've lost 500 extra potential calories being taken in. So that's a small improvement right there if that's kind of what you eat every day, or you go out and work every single day. So let's go try to go more of a deficit, or to have less calories eating at the same place. So switch down to a rice bowl. Give up the extra calories at a whole huge flour tortilla, just the extra carbs. Okay, you're still gonna have some carbs, you're just gonna cut back more. So again, you tell the person, I only want a scoop of rice. Please not the 3 scoops of rice, just 1 scoop of rice. Same thing, beans. You're already saving calories from not having the flour tortilla, which is a huge flour tortilla. And you do the same thing. Just doing that might cut you down to under 1,000 calories, okay? And maybe you knock, so under 1,000 calories. Same thing, you run through everything you would have put on the burrito, but now you're excluding the flour tortilla. And if you want to cut back even more, you tell them just a smidgen of sour cream, which is what I do. And I tell them no cheese. So I get it under 1,000 calories. That's a win. Okay, let's go even further. Let's say instead of asking, so you're not going to ask for the burrito. You're not going to ask if you want to be, it's okay to actually get the rice bowl and cut back as well. Let's take it again. Let's say you want to be a little bit more disciplined or take in even less calories. Go ahead and get that salad bowl, which is going to be like a blend of leaf lettuce and romaine and some other things. And say no rice. Look at how many calories you're knocking off there right now. Absolutely no rice. And you're starting with a base of greens. Okay? Jump right into your beans. Add your other things, maybe your pico de gallo, which is your fresh salsa. Same thing. Maybe you do very little sour cream after you do your chicken or beef. Then maybe you do cheese or do no cheese. So you eventually end up with something 800 calories or less. And that's plus if I ever get a salad bowl at Chipotle, I tell them no vinaigrette, no dressing. And that's okay because you already have the guacamole, you already have the pico de gallo, and you already have the beans and the hot chicken. It ends up having enough moisture and everything to it that you don't really need the vinaigrette or need the salad dressing. So look, we've gone from 1,500 calories as an example at a very well-known fast food restaurant. And I usually give this to all my clients and basically say, look how quickly you can go into deficit. And when we say deficit, we basically mean just taking in less calories a day in your diet. So So right now, if you're not eating well and you constantly are picking up weight, you might be taking in, depending on who you are, 3,000 calories or more. And that is constantly too much calories for you to take in. And when I say calories in, we'll say it's energy. Think of food as energy. So if you're constantly taking in too much energy, that means you got to use or burn that energy every day. And if you're not active enough and you eat too much every day, the tank's going to be full, the body. And so it's going to start storing extra in the tank. And so that's why it's so important to stay active, to make sure you're putting out energy output enough to compensate for all the energy you're taking in. Okay? So look, we've gone from 1,500 calories down to 800 calories, eating at the same place we eat at, basically keeping the same food, just changing up the carb level of it and the portion control. It'll be life-changing if it's consistent. For me, I couldn't believe how quickly, with everything else I do, how quickly the weight came off, and within matters of weeks, I just kept on seeing with myself how quickly it transformed my physique. And we're also talking about, what are you drinking with this meal? Chipotle and all these other places, Kava and stuff, have these delicious, juices. Well, look at the sugar content of the juices. If you got something around 100 calories or less, that's not that bad. But are you refilling it 3 times? Are you adding an extra 300 calories just in delicious flavored sugar juice? Which is awesome. It's good. So you get to the point where, and I'm not a big person on weighing myself that often, because it's more about what you look in the mirror at yourself. But you'll get to a point where you can see the difference or feel the difference or see it in when you weigh yourself, just from the difference between having water and having even healthy juices that have a lot of sugar at these restaurants. And I say healthy because sugar's not all bad. It's a carbohydrate. It's a nutrient that we normally take in. A macronutrient that we take in. And you do need enough or whatever to make sure whatever you have some in your bloodstream and your muscles. But if you're trying to lose weight, that is something you can immediately cut back on. So again, we went from a 1,500 calorie burrito down to 800 or even less of a salad bowl. And this is doable anywhere. Alright, so just using the eating out and a calorie deficit, that's just one example. Think about what you're doing for your meal planning. Look at your meal planning throughout the day, and do not make the same mistake that I used to. And like I said, if I'm making rice, it should be 1 serving of rice with whatever meal you're making. It should be, 1 serving of whatever you're having. And you got to be careful with that. And if you're consistent with it, you'll see a difference in losing weight and the way you look. Okay, so the second part is getting active. If you're in a very sedentary lifestyle, and this goes, like I said, if you take in a bunch of energy, you got to put out a lot of energy, or you're just going to continue to gain weight. Even with portion control, there has to be movement, okay? Movement could be as easy as walking. I highly recommend walking to all my clients, and you guys always see me talking about social media. It's passive cardio. Do you remember your father, or your mom, or your grandparents when you were a kid, or your uncle? Oh my God, they've lost so much weight. Hey, what have you been doing? And they're like, I cut back on sodas, and I've been walking every single night after dinner. Okay, that's still good for today. It hasn't changed. There's something magical about the walking, with walking to the body, where when I say passive, it has to be enough when you're walking. Same thing if you're riding a bike, a stationary bike, or on a treadmill, where you get in the fat burning zone as long as you can walk and talk. Once you start walking is too fast or jogging and you can't really talk comfortably without breathing heavy, then you're pulling in more carbs to provide energy for that walk or that run or that cardio. But if you keep it low, slow, consistent, it puts your body in the fat burning zone and doesn't require the additional energy or quick energy of carbohydrates being pulled through your bloodstream or pulled through your muscles to make the power through that cardio. So passive cardio. I haven't really ran or done sprints for a few months because it's colder in Maryland now. I mean, I miss it, don't get me wrong. Because my occupational job hazard, being a police officer, I have to be able to sprint and be quick. So that's what I really need it for. But as far as for fat loss, I'm rucking or I'm walking with a weighted vest at the gym now when it's really cold outside. And it's still low and slow. So if you are in a sedentary lifestyle, and what I mean is right now I'm driving to work. It takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to get to work. If you drive a lot, that's a lot of sitting. And then if I'm at work, I might end up sitting in a cruiser. You got to get out and move. You got to get out and move for no reason. No difference. Mine comparable to an office job. There's plenty of people I talk to include clients, that say, well, I drive to work and then I sit at my desk all day and I'm not really active. Okay, well, that's easy. I'm sure you got to get up to go to a copier, you got to go to the bathroom, you have to go throw something out. Well, try to do that more often. Make a bunch of smaller trips. When you go to the bathroom, is there a reason why you can't do some air squats in the bathroom? Is there a reason that you can't possibly take a shorter lunch hour and actually walk around your job? Is there stairs at your job? Every hour on the hour, would your boss say anything to you when you actually walked up and down stairs for no reason every hour on the hour for 5 or 10 minutes? Any way that you get constant movement. If you're in an office position where you have your own office, shut the door every half an hour or every hour. Do some air squats. Do some walking lunges across your office. There's so many different things you can do. Do some push-ups in your office. There's so many things you can do to get movement. So adding walking to your day, even when you're not at work, you can either put a time limit on it, or you can actually put miles. If you have a lot of health issues, maybe you start at 1 mile. Maybe you do 1 mile every day for a week, and then every week after that you add a half mile or another mile. Eventually you'll be doing 3 to 4 miles just after a few weeks. And imagine if you're not really walking that often and you add this in. That is going to slowly burn calories. It's not going to hurt your joints. And if you're worried about it affecting your muscular gains if you're a guy or testosterone or anything, it's not really going to hurt your muscularity or affect your testosterone at all. Okay? So imagine the two things. You're at a calorie deficit, or you're taking less calories than you were before, and now you're walking. So you're already taking in less calories, and then you're also burning more calories. So those two wins right there that you weren't doing before. Those two things, that's pretty simple. If you add those two things in consistently, you will slowly start to see weight just peel right off you. And I love it when I hear clients say, oh my God, I've only done these two things. And I've seen a huge difference. Okay. So you're at a calorie deficit and you're more active. Okay. Now let's add in strength training. Okay. Strength training does not have to be complicated. It doesn't even mean you have to go to a gym if you're a little shy about going to a gym. Obviously, I'm not shy about going to a gym. I love it. I love the energy there. I love the feeling. I love being challenged. I actually love seeing the powerlifters there. They were absolutely much stronger than me. It makes me want to be stronger. So, strength training. That could mean if absolutely no weights. There's people that get in contact with me all the time, are like, I don't know where to start. I don't really feel comfortable going to the gym, but I know I need to lose weight. I'm like, got you. All right. That can be as simple as some body calisthenics. Like I said, you can do walking lunges, which is great for your for a functional exercise for your lower body. If you're not into squats, and you can do that with no weight, just walking across the room from here to there, and you get some reps in. You'll get sore if you've never done that before. I do walking lunges to warm up with no weights, and then I eventually work my way up with really heavy dumbbells. But it's a great functional exercise for your body. You can also do air squats. Again, you don't need any weight for that. You can also do push-ups. We could also do planks or some type of ab or core exercise. You could do walking. You could do rest recovery runs. There's plenty of things that you can just do with a chair, and plenty of things you can do with a table or a counter for different types of push-ups and what have you. It doesn't always have to be with weights, especially when you're first starting out. Okay, so any kind of strength training added in. Why is that? Okay, so we have what we call metabolism. And with your metabolism, if you can turn up your metabolism, then you can burn more calories. Most people don't know, the more muscle, it takes energy to maintain muscle. So if you're going from having no muscle on you, and you're, I don't want to say flabby, but if you have no muscle on you, no muscle tone, no hardness to you, and you basically start putting muscle on, every time you put muscle on, remember the body's going to require energy because you torque, break the muscle down microscopically. It takes energy to repair that muscle that you tore. First, it's going to take energy for you to get the workout in, right? Okay, so you're burning calories working out, okay? So again, this is building blocks. You're eating less, but still liking what you're eating, so, it shouldn't be a diet that you hate. And that's why most diets fail, because people go so strict and they can't stand what they're eating. You gotta like what you eat. You gotta find that balance. And you're being more active by walking, or slow jogging, what have you, or stationary biking, or treadmilling. And now, like I said, you're adding an exercise. So now there's 3 things that are affecting your calorie intake or how much calories you're burning. So the more muscle you put on, the body has to spend energy to rebuild the muscle and maintain the muscle. But remember, you're also burning calories while you're building the muscle. So the more muscle you put on, you will naturally just be burning more calories at a higher rate. Okay? So that's 3 things right there. And all 3 things are doable. And as you put on more weight, the more calories, muscle mass or weight, the more calories you're going to burn. So imagine, like I said, you're eating less, you're walking more, or some type of passive cardio, and you're putting on muscle. The confidence will probably skyrocket, okay? You're going to feel like a damn warrior, okay? You're going to feel better because you're going to be eating better. You're going to feel less full because you're eating really for not to be full. You're eating to be satisfied. And then you're walking, and if you're lucky enough to be able to walk outside, that's just a good feeling in the first place. That fresh air, possibly seeing nature and different things, it's all positive. Okay. Also, if you're trying to walk or get more active throughout the day, you might be able to get a workout buddy at work, or start up a step club or something like that, like I see a lot of people do. And then, like I say, you're moving in weights. And if you're new to it, not weights, any kind of strength training. And let's say you move up to, just imagine you move up from doing no weights, just body weight exercises, to actually light dumbbells. Like I said, your confidence is going to be very boosted. You're going to actually, your muscles will feel a little bit harder as long as you're taking enough protein in. And remember, that's got to be at least 1 gram of protein per body weight. Okay? Now, when I say that, for somebody like me who's lean, I'm eating 1.5 times or 1.5 grams of protein per body weight because I want to put on that lean muscle mass and continue to put on muscle. But somebody who's trying to lose weight, let's say you're 50 pounds overweight, don't do your macros and your protein based on your overweight status. Find out what your ideally weight or your BMI is, body mass index numbers for your height, weight, age, and you want to do that for your amount of your protein coming in. Okay? So, and remember I talked about removing sugary drinks. So if you're drinking soda, let's go back to food. You're already cut back on the total amount of calories you're taking a day with your food. Well, what are you drinking for liquids? Are you striving for a gallon of water a day? Or close to it. And I said strive, because a gallon of water is kind of hard. But you've seen in other videos from me, make sure that if you are doing a gallon, drink coffee. It's not your gallon of water plus coffee. It is how much water do you think that you've used in the coffee. So make sure if you're making your coffee, pour it from your jug. Okay, same thing throughout the day. If you're drinking any teas, or you're drinking any smoothies, anything, it's minus whatever's in that jug. So you'll find out that a lot of people are drinking more than a gallon a day because they're not compensating for the small drinks that they're already doing throughout the day. But if you're drinking sodas, you got to give up those sodas. Okay, a soda could be a treat or a once a week thing or something like that. And there's healthy alternatives. Recently, I've been recommending Olipop to all my clients that have soda issues. And it's natural soda with only 4 grams of sugar. And it's got prebiotics and probiotics in it. And I want to say roughly there's about 10 flavors. And I recently tried it when everybody got that virus that was going around the country in January around Christmas. And I just wanted some extra probiotics and prebiotics in my diet. And I saw that at the store at Target or Walmart. And I said, let me try this out. I got the grape flavor. It's not perfect. It's got, I think it's got stevia in it. But it reminded me of grape Fanta soda I had when I was a kid. So you're cutting back something from 20-some, 30-some, possibly 40-some grams of sugar that you don't need. And you're cutting it all with a regular soda, and you're cutting it all the way back to 4 grams with the Olipop. And it's got prebiotics and probiotics, which is excellent for your flora and your digestion. It just makes you feel good. So you mess around with those 10 flavors and you find something you like. Like I said, I'm in love with the grape flavor. And I recommend it to several of my clients right now that have digestion issues, and they love it. So they get the satisfaction of feeling like they're still drinking a soda, but none of the negatives of it with so much sugar that it causes in the spike and everything from having that soda and the extra calories. So, being consistent with your eating, with a calorie deficit, being consistent with walking or passive exercise, whether it be stationary bike, whether it be treadmilling, and actually doing strength training, and cutting back on sugary drinks is really your path of consistency. And just have the discipline to follow through on it every day. You will absolutely lose weight. And you'll probably enjoy the strength training too. And you'll get to a point where, and I don't weigh any of my food, you get to a point where you just know, this portion size looks too big or looks too small. And I think that will really help you. So, you try to start out small. It's not about having some huge workout plan for your strength training. You can absolutely start out small. Imagine if you're a very sedentary lifestyle where you drive to work for a long time, and you get to work and you sit on your butt all day, and then you come home and then you're so tired from being at work because you're not in good shape cardiovascular wise that you're tired from doing really nothing at work except sitting, and so you sit some more at home. So not really good. So just adding walking in, like I said, can be life-changing to yourself, your cardiovascular, and your physique. So can your eating in a deficit can be life-changing. Just cutting back on your portions and starting strength training not only will make you feel good, it's going to hurt a little bit first, but got to go through pain sometimes, just a little bit. I don't mean excruciating pain, I just mean you're using muscles you haven't used in a long time. And that will absolutely make your body feel better, more confident. You'll get to the point where you enjoy moving more than sitting around. Now, when you're sitting down for a second, you'll start seeing it as, wow, I'm really not doing anything. Let me get up and find something to do. And that's the change of your active lifestyle, from a very sedentary lifestyle to an active lifestyle. All right, so let's review, because I'm about to add another layer. So you've already done your calorie deficit. So you've already cut back on the amount of food you're taking in a day and your portion control. You've already you've already started doing passive cardio. We're putting more movement in throughout the day. You've started strength training, which is going to increase your metabolism, which will help burn calories. Now here's another layer that you can add in that's absolutely going to make a difference, that will help you do less calories, and that is fasting. Okay? Not a huge fan of fasting when people say, oh my God, I do a 15 to 20 hour fast a day, and I only eat like 4 hours out of the day. That's a lot. And that's not really sustainable in my view. But if you look at fasting, we basically fast every single night when we go to sleep. So fasting allows your body to cleanse itself, allows it to recuperate, kind of do a hard reset. If you're a computer, kind of hard reset every single night. All right, so you can increase your fasting window to help you cut back on your calories. Okay, that does not mean I'm saying starving. That's not what fasting is. It just means certain hours of the day that you will actually consume food. So let's say, we'll say for myself. So I have to get up really early in the morning. So roughly I stop eating around 10 o'clock because I have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then I really won't have my first meal or anything till after 6 or 7. Okay? Let's do more normal hours for most people. So let's say you stop eating at 9 because you usually go to bed at 10. So let's say the average person, just taking a guess, goes to bed at 10 o'clock, 10 p.m., and wakes up at 6. So right there, that's your 8 hours. That's 8 hours you fast. So helps out a lot of clients to do a mindset to not take in extra calories and snacks before they go to bed. So let's say if you go to bed at 10, let's no longer eat after 8 o'clock at night. So you've already increased from 8 hours of not eating to 10 hours of not eating fasting, naturally right there. That's going to help you cut back on calories if you have a snacking problem at nighttime. And let's say you get up at 6, let's say don't eat till 8. So look what you've done. You've added 2 hours up front to your fasting window. So instead of 10 o'clock going to not eating anymore and going to sleep, you're not eating at 8 o'clock anymore and adding to your fasting time. Get up at 6, well, don't eat breakfast till 8 o'clock. Okay, 8 a.m. So you've increased your fasting window from 8 hours to 10 hours to 12 hours. Naturally, that snacking and those things, or those calorie or energy intake times, is gonna possibly help you eat less calories and just, again, help you lose weight, help you make it through your day. Okay? So, that's a lot of layers. But everything I just said is really doable. Maybe you try to add these all in one at a time or whatever over a week or 2 weeks. But there's nothing I've said that is magical, okay? Eating less calories is doable, and with the food that you like already. Also, getting more movement in, that's completely doable, okay? Adding in strength training, I said it can be body weight at first. It does not have to be jumping right into heavy weights or going to a gym. It's stuff you can do at home. And I guess I should probably do some videos about that. Yeah, I don't think I've done videos about that, about home workouts. That would probably be good. And then fasting. You're really already fasting every single night when you go to sleep. Now I'm just saying you're going to increase your fasting window from maybe the 8 hours of sleep, or if you sleep 6 hours, increase it 2 hours on the front of the fasting, and increase the 2 hours at the back of the fasting before breakfast. So all these things naturally are going to help you get in a better place, you know, not only physically, but mentally, and really help you on your weight loss journey. So I just pulled up to work. I've been talking a long time about this. So I hope this helps out anybody who's needed it, again, for their towards their weight loss journey. Keep grinding, everyone.